Tow truck operator, the hardest part of my job is being nice to people who think they know how to do my job better than I do.
100% agreed.
It's on a sweater by the looks of it.
It's going to be on a Towing Life sweater next.
Hey everyone, I'm Brad from Calgary.
This is Sean from Cambridge, Ontario.
I'm Terry from Cornwall, Ontario.
Hey, this is Larry from Pitt Meadows, British Columbia, and you're listening to the Towing Life Podcast.
Welcome to the Towing Life Podcast, where the ditches are deep, the trucks are loaded, but the drivers are not. I am your host, Towman G, and as usual, I am joined by my co-host, friend, and former co-worker, the man with very strong opinions, Mr. Plain Guy.
What is going on, G? What is going on?
Well, it's actually, I just put the banner back up before we sat down to record.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were at a tow show.
We were at a tow show. And now, I know we had an episode come out last week, but between you, me, and the fence post, that was recorded prior to the tow show.
And 100% we probably said things in that episode that did not come true at the tow show.
No, it did not.
100%. 100%. Or did you cut them out? Did they not come true, or did you cut them out?
I cut some of them out.
Okay, good. So that our listeners at home don't have all kinds of false promises.
Exactly.
It's a good business model. I really like it. As G said, welcome to another episode of the Towing Life Podcast, episode 110.
Yes, 110.
I wrote 100 and something because I could not remember the number of the episode.
10 something. That's what this one's titled. 10 something.
We're gonna call it 100 something. Welcome to another week. We absolutely, like you said, we've gone to the tow show, did a couple recordings ahead of time. We're playing catch up now, back with up-to-date news, up-to-date, all the new stuff going on in the towing industry. We got some great stuff to cover this week. If you missed it, the Recovery of the Month contest is now officially closed.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get a chance to get your submissions in, technically at the time of recording, it's still open for another couple days. But by the time you hear this wonderful message, it will have been closed. So thank you for all those that submitted. We will be putting together, we're going to be announcing the September today. We've already, once the month fully closes on our end, we will be finalizing the points, selecting October, November, December. So be sure to keep an eye out because the calendars will become available at the end of probably October. I figure they'll be ready to go by, give or take, maybe early November.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
So be sure to check out, head over to the website, www.towinglife.ca later on November to get your calendar on order so that you can have one shipped out to you. I have been a shipping machine.
Yeah. Yeah, you're shipping out t-shirts from the show and everything. And
I've got everything going on. There's t-shirts going on. There's hoodies coming in. There's more shirts. So I ordered more shirts. Did I tell you?
No.
If you are a Canadian listener, I'm going to try with one of our American listeners. Okay. I'm going to try with one of our American listeners. You can message us directly. We can try to see if we can put the order together either through Facebook or by visiting or emailing us at thetowinglife@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at the Towing Life Podcast. We will be sending, we're going to be trying to send out our merchandise directly from Canada, directly from a local vendor who's making it. I have not tried to send to the States, so bear with me. Yep. But I ordered the porn star design on a t-shirt with the Towing Life on the front and the porn star on the back with the logo on the sleeve like we have.
Yeah, it looks good.
I'm very excited. I got the artwork done. We needed to do it for one of our wonderful listeners who came to us at the tow show and seen our hoodies and said, can I get one of those? And it wasn't part of the original plan nor the tow show package, but who are we to say no?
Yeah. If one of you fine folks wants something, we will do our damnedest to get it to you.
Absolutely.
And by we, I mean him.
Yeah, I'm dealing with all this because I don't got enough going on my plate. What else could be worse than dealing with a bunch of shipping and ordering and packaging? And my wife has been a huge part of this. She's been helping out. I think actually she just got home, which means she probably should be labeling packages that are going out this week.
Wow, you don't give her any time to herself.
No, we got work to do. This podcast takes up a lot of time. So if you don't know, you can head over to thetowinglife.ca /shop. You will see all of our merchandise. If there's a big enough demand for a certain design, we can look at getting it done. You know, I always tell my Canadian listeners, message us directly. No offense to the American listeners. I know you guys are a huge part of our show and we appreciate each and every one of you. It's that it's not practical to order from Canada the shirts directly off that site. For the States, it makes sense. It's cheaper. It's going to be cheaper probably than me doing them here. We're going to try a couple as a sample and it's going to be quicker. As for the Canadian listeners, it's not. The shipping that they charge because it's considered international coming to Canada, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we are working on our own in-house merchandise availability that will be coming to you guys. Hopefully, especially into the start of 2023. It's something we really want to push, some of the merchandise ideas we have. Man, my print guy, when he sees these, he's like, man, I'm going to print extras because I know these are coming. I know these are popular. The Eat, Sleep, Toe.
Yeah.
Eat, Sleep, Toe repeat shirts from the Toe Show, man. Those are super popular.
Yeah. We sold out. I'm surprised we actually sold out.
We sold out and some. Like I said, I just filled the order.
Yeah.
I just got them in and they're getting sent out very shortly. I had one. I'm not going to name any names because I know he listens, but I don't know if his wife listens. And he had ordered a piece of merchandise. It came in. I was getting ready to ship it. And he asked for another one. Can I get a t-shirt too?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, no problem. He goes, do me a favor. Can you put a note when you ship it, not to put in a receipt in the box? My wife says I don't need this stuff and I don't need to be spending money on it.
It's your money. Sir. Do with it as you will.
Customer support, sir. Customer service. I am all about that. I will be sure not to include an invoice in that box just for you. Yeah. I'll send it to you via email. Hopefully she doesn't have access to it. And we will get you that. So again, head over to
do that with a BakPul order too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't forget our wonderful sponsors over at BakPul Hitches. You can get them exclusively in Canada through ourselves. www.towinglife.ca/BakPul, BakPul, or by visiting BakPulHitches.com. If you're over on the American side, they will get you set up there. Man, those things are just launching in the States.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time getting my full orders up here in Canada because you can't make them fast enough down there.
Well, it's an innovative technique, innovative device. I got a short video for you that's also innovative, and I'm going to be doing this from now on to limited success, probably.
What does he say at the end?
Perfecto, I think.
Perfecto. We're going to try one more time. I mean, I feel like that boom was put on a little bit for, like, it doesn't sound like the boom that it would be.
No.
So for the audio listeners listening, this guy said that he found the perfect way to clean an air filter. He takes a little cherry bomb or a little firecracker, and he's got a round cylinder air filter you'd find on your Freightliners and most trucks anyways nowadays. There's not much that's running a square filter. And he puts it inside the center of the air filter, sets the air filter over top. The bang from the air filter just knocks the dirt right out of this thing. Doesn't actually look like it damages the air filter too much. I'd like to see inside. But it was definitely a great idea.
Oh, yeah. As long as you get the explosive size right. Because if you don't, then you're just buying a new air filter anyway.
Yeah. the cleaning becomes buying, and nobody really wins in that deal, right?
Yeah.
So for you mechanics out there, if you want to submit your video of you guys trying to clean your air filter this way, we are in. You can send it to thetowinglife@gmail.com.
Yep.
Or find us on Facebook at the Towing Life Podcast. I think it'd be great. I mean, there's going to be a bunch of bosses calling us. Can you tell them to stop trying to clean the air filters with firecrackers? My air filter expenses have gone through the roof because we have not figured out the mixture.
Oh, good news, everyone. I just found out if you are a connoisseur of us on YouTube, we are now also on YouTube Music, because apparently they do podcasts on YouTube Music now. So you can listen to us.
What's YouTube Music?
So YouTube Music is pretty much like the Spotify, Amazon Music, anything like that for YouTube. So you can watch videos through it as well. But what I do is I watch things in the truck with it. So I'm assuming you can set it as a downloaded playlist, and it'll also download while you're on Wi-Fi to your phone as well.
And can you have it like closed and running in the background like Spotify and everything else?
I'm not 100% sure if you're a free YouTube listener, but if you are a YouTube premium member, I know I do that myself.
Okay.
So
I'm
all
not a
the
u-
music I
I'm not
listen
a
to
free-
while driving comes through YouTube Music
Why not just do it through Spotify?
because I pay for YouTube Premium anyways, and it's available through YouTube Premium.
You know, I don't have premium anything. Like I don't have Spotify premium. I don't have
Oh,
YouTube premium. I don't have
I just
OnlyFans.
don't like ads. I hate ads.
I I'm still the old. Like I've honestly thought of going down to the Netflix level that has ads.
They have Netflix levels with ads now?
Yeah, so Netflix restructured.
Oh.
We're gonna get on Netflix one day. You watch. Prediction for
Someone
2035.
came up to us and said, "You really need to get a TV show at the Toe Show."
Who?
I can't remember the fella's name.
What? Like what? What kind of t-shirt? What? We're gonna have a family sitcom?
I guess so.
A towing sitcom, like a towing family sitcom
Yeah.
where he drives tow truck. I mean, I could see something. I don't think we're gonna have it, but I could see
No.
somebody having it. I can see somebody having it. So, anyways, we won't keep you guys waiting any longer. I know you've been dying in your boots. We were a little late on the recovery of the month. A couple days. Nobody's gonna know. They're not gonna know. They're not gonna know.
No.
So we will present this month's recovery of the month, sponsored by the wonderful folks over at BakPul Hitches, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to innovation, BakPul Hitches has definitely raised the bar and you know, brought something to towers that we never knew we needed.
Yeah.
This recovery is very similar. So I'm going to set the stage. Okay. I'm really going to set the stage on this one.
Okay.
So Birchfield Towing in Duncansville, PA, received a police rotation call for a vehicle that had run off the roadway in a high traffic shopping area. Pretty standard. Went off the roadway, high traffic shopping area. No problem.
Yeah.
Initial dispatch info stated that the vehicle had left the parking lot of this athletic club and was over an embankment.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
nothing
Whatever.
new. Yep. Upon arriving on scene, it was discovered that the vehicle had left the parking lot and was precariously perched by its front bumper on the roof of the athletic club.
Did you just say roof?
It's on a roof. We went from off an embankment to on a roof.
Okay.
Well, it's getting a little more interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
he got more information than my police department gives me.
Well,
Upon arriving on scene, it was discovered that the vehicle, an elderly woman had mistakenly hit the gas pedal instead of the brake while pulling into a parking space.
honest mistake.
First time, not the first time. Jumped the parking curb and landed approximately 1 foot of the nose of the car on the top of the building next door. Her car was about 20 feet above the ground.
Ouch.
20 feet above the ground.
Yeah.
Bridging the gap from parking lot to rooftop. So the rooftop is level with the parking lot. Who could possibly see this going wrong? It's about what looks like to be at least a good 8-foot gap.
Yeah.
Right? Minimum. So she slips off the brake, hits the gas, somehow is fast enough to get the nose to the other end, because if not, holy shit.
Yeah. At least they would have been able to get her out of the car easier if she did fall.
If she had fallen all the way to the ground.
Yeah.
True. The driver was stuck inside the vehicle, unable to be safely removed due to how the vehicle was positioned. It was determined that the best plan of action was to lift the vehicle from its position via crane with the driver still inside. Okay. We played a video. Was it last week? I think it was last week's episode of that crazy recovery where they do a recovery with a person inside. Remember that?
Yep.
They do the hard roll with the person inside. This recovery was executed at a much more professional standard. Myself and emergency personnel on scene assisted in rigging the car to be lifted from the building. The vehicle was lifted using 4 endless loop straps through the rims and attached to the crane via shackles. The crane operator from Brice Nagle and Sons Crane Company was then able to lift and rotate the vehicle back onto the parking lot safely. Driver of the vehicle was then able to be removed from the vehicle and transported to local hospital for precautionary checks. This was a great joint effort by several local volunteer fire companies, Birchfield Towing, CarPro Towing, and Brice Sailor and Sons Crane. It is an immensely satisfying feeling to be able to help save a life by using a technique learned and practiced daily in the towing industry. This is one recovery that will stay with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That comes in from Brice Nagle, Butcher Field Towing in Duncansville, Pennsylvania. So that is like, looking at this photo, right?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. So if you're over on the YouTube side, be sure, or if you're over on the audio side, be sure to head over to YouTube or look for the post on social media. This car, yeah, there's a fence, a parking block, and a fence. I'm actually surprised that's all they have.
Yeah.
As a
No
divider
curbs,
between.
nothing.
No, like, well, there's a curb. Not a very
That
big
looks pretty level with the asphalt.
No, it's definitely a curb. That's a little parking block. What's
Okay.
impressive is the damage is minimal. Like, could you imagine being that lady in the car? This is like some stuff from the movies. Like, don't move.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't move.
It's a good thing that Buick's got a strong front bumper. For rad support,
Yeah, it's like a
whatever is
Buick
actually hooked
Verano
up
or
to it.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know you guys might hate a little bit, and that's fine because it's a crane that's being set up in this photo to use it. But I mean, the
But
towing
a towing
company,
company had to call in a crane.
yeah, whether it's
Maybe
because
because
of
they didn't
lack,
have a rotator. And
yeah,
to be honest with you, a lot of companies that can't justify spending millions of dollars on keeping a piece of equipment like a rotator sit there for maybe the one call a year,
Mhm.
when something like this comes in, they're into, okay, who do we call? Crane company, another local rotator. They got the job done.
yeah, they got
That's
the
the main
job done safely. They worked hand in hand with the fire department.
thing.
He had this done. You see the guy's got a chop saw out and he's cutting the fence out.
Mhm.
The rigging you can tell is clearly by a towing company.
Yep.
Just the endless loops, and then hooked onto the crane setup. I see a flatbed. It looks like, I'm guessing he originally got to scene and was
Yeah, he's got a
stabilizing it,
line to the back probably to stabilize it.
which could go one of two ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is pulling it backwards.
Mhm.
So
But probably when the crane takes tension, they don't want the car to swing forwards either. So,
it's very possible. It's definitely a cool recovery. And Brice,
mhm.
I mean, that's one when you're on scene of this stuff,
Yeah.
that's one that you won't forget. So
And
no,
you
the
got a
fact,
person inside the car. So, like, it's not just if you fuck up, you're bending a fender. No, if you screw up, someone might just die.
yeah. Oh, a 20-foot plunge will do a number on you sitting in a car.
Yeah.
You imagine the headlines after that one? Whew.
Especially if the airbags already deployed from the actual impact that went into the roof. We can't tell.
It's hard to tell from those photos. So no, congratulations, Brice Nagle, the winner of our recovery of the month, September 2023, and the winner of a $50 Amazon gift card sponsored by BakPul Hitches. So the other thing I want to get into, and this is actually great as it comes to what I'm multitasking going on here on the side,
Okay.
right? A good question, and I think it's something that we don't talk about. I don't think we've ever talked about in our hundred and something episodes,
Mm-hmm.
as I call this episode, is phone numbers. Right? How many times have you ran into a tow scenario where the customer goes, "Hey, why don't you give me your number so that next time I need a tow, I'll just give you a call." Right?
Yep.
You're the guy with the tow truck. Let's cut out the middleman.
Yep.
How do you approach that situation?
There's only been one time that I can remember that I've actually put my own phone number. Now, to be fair, for the or visual listeners, I do have two phones. I pay for both, but I have one that's a 705 area code number and one that's a 905 area code number to keep them completely separate. The one is my personal number, the one is my work number. So I do all my work stuff through that and GPS. So anytime I give someone my number, regardless at work, it's the 705 work phone number, right? Makes sense. The only time that I've ever written my number on top of a business card for the company that I work with that has the number on the card as well with specific instructions to the person was I launched a houseboat for this guy. I pulled a houseboat out and they just didn't have a vehicle to do that. They said, we only want you because you now have experience doing this and we want you. I was like, okay, that's fair. Anyone at the company can easily do this for you. No questions, ifs, ands, or buts. But if you want, you can shoot me a text or whatever to coordinate with me. Say, when are you working? And I say, I'm working this weekend. Now call the office and book it through them. Right? There's no
Okay, so
sense of trying to book the service if I'm not working and if you specifically want me.
Right. Okay. So, but you said that you have the two numbers, but you give out your work number
Yes.
to who?
To my coworkers, I call customers from that number as well.
Right.
I tried to get that set up to outgoing calls come up as tow truck driver, but unfortunately that's not available for me. Right?
Certain VoIP systems are. Yeah.
Yeah, because unfortunately, if I call someone off a blocked number
They don't answer half the time.
they don't answer half the time. At least if I show and it's a visible number and they can call me back type thing, they're a little bit more willing to pick up the phone.
No, not answering from a blocked number, I feel, in my opinion, is a good way to tell somebody owes money somewhere.
Yeah.
Because most people
Or don't like the police department.
or don't like the police department, because of course an officer will always call you normally in our area, at least from a blocked number. But no, I feel like that's a good way to know how good they are on their payments.
Yeah.
Is if they don't answer, don't run them credit. But no, okay. So yeah, like I said, the calling out, obviously that's kind of a given stuff. But like, yeah, customers calling in, or like I said, you do the service and go, hey, why don't you give my number? I can call you next time. No, you call the office.
Yeah.
Even the houseboat thing, call the office.
Yeah.
Call the office. Call the office. They'll tell you when I'm working. Well, they have your schedule. Why do you need to coordinate with them? The office should have your schedule.
Yeah, I guess. Makes sense.
Right. So it's because our company is lucky in the sense that all of our trucks are GPS tracked.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 24-hour in-house dispatch. And my dispatchers will legitimately call me if they see a truck that's out of place at night and go like, hey, who's in this truck? Why is it coming back from here? Right? We know who's working what trucks and they might be like moving around town because they were out, picked up dinner or whatever. Little things like that aren't, you can put one and one together pretty quick. If the truck's at McDonald's at 11 o'clock at night, the guy's not doing a tow, not to mention ours will mention when, we'll notify when PTOs are active, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but like the driver should never be giving out their number. It's not like, hey, call me, I'll set you up. No. We have dispatch, because when it comes to quoting, when it comes to scheduling, when it comes to coordinating, once you start to get in the higher volume, my dispatch is amazing at what they do.
Yep.
I don't need a driver while my dispatch is lining up a day or lining up the next hour or two because, calls and planning. A driver go, oh, by the way, I got John that I got to go do this tow for later.
I've had stuff like that happen more than I'd like to admit. I've worked at places before where the manager just had all these contacts with garages, shops, whatever, just random people. And being in a small town, that's just the contact that person has, is the manager. So they'll always call the manager. And then the manager has to relay as much information as he could to whoever is going to do that tow. But now you've got technically two dispatchers fighting against each other. And it just never pans out well because he'll send you that information, but he might not relay it to dispatch. So then dispatch doesn't know what the hell you're doing, but you're doing the work from the manager.
See, and that's just bad organization.
Yeah.
Right. Like
100%.
anytime that I go, if I get, and being in a position of management, absolutely. That's a little different story. That's the one case where it's okay to give out your personal number or your work number. But
it also comes to a point to where if everyone's just calling you for tows because you're the manager and you always get shit done, what's the point of having dispatch? So
well,
then
normally
it gets to a point where you've given out your number and everyone likes dealing with you because they've dealt with you before. They only want to deal with you. And when you say call the office, they don't want to call the office because they've already got you on the phone.
Well, normally what I do is it's easy. Hey, like I want to take care of this. I want to help you out. I'm on the road right now. If you call the office, I'll make sure they take care of you.
Yeah.
A lot of times, the only time that I'll have is either it's a new customer that we're just trying to take on. So you're building that relationship before you hand them off to dispatch, or depending, and companies have it, like we're not some miracle workers that like we've had customers who might have, dispatch might have messed up a couple times.
Yep.
And that customer's not super thrilled about it. So, hey, I'm going to give you the peace of mind. Whenever you got something, let me know. I'll take care of it for you. And then as you build that trust back up on that consistency and that level of customer service and that level of everything, you start to transition it back to the dispatch.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, though, whenever I take, like, I've got a customer that's messaging me as we speak, and I take information, I don't dispatch the call.
No.
I take the information, I create it, right? We know that we use a web-based dispatch software.
Yep.
I will CAD the information, and I will let my dispatcher know. Pay a dispatcher to dispatch.
Yeah.
And to sort out who and what and where and when. I'm telling you, this is the call that's up on the board now. This is no different than one of the roadsides or an account calling you and telling you I got this tow to take care of.
Yeah.
Right? I don't sit there and go, hey, gee, go do this. Right? That's where you start to lose problems. That's where you start to overstep your bounds.
Yep.
Right? You pay people to do a job.
Yep.
Trust them to do that job. If you put them in the position to do that job, right? Don't go above them all the time, because that does two things. It just absolutely kills their confidence, and it frustrates the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Because
or they could become dependent on that.
Oh, the dependency is real.
Or it'd be like, well, you do it most of the time anyway, so why should I do it?
I've had dispatchers, and I don't fully understand it, where I've had dispatchers where, like, I'm going to take off for a couple hours this afternoon. My phone's fairly quiet. But if I'm at that office, I swear to God, it's like, hey, I got this. What do I do? What would you do what do you do when I'm not here?
Yeah.
You obviously figure it out. Have that confidence. Right? But it's so hard to, and anyone in the towing industry and anyone who's invested in it will obviously look at it and go like, well, I'm not going to say no to helping them. No, I get that. But it's like, same thing when a driver starts to question a dispatcher, and it's like, look, I pay you to operate the tow trucks and do the calls. I pay them to figure out who's going to do them and when and how. You two, these are two lanes. Stay in them. Stay in your lane. It is hard. I'm the king, and anyone that works with me that knows or will tell you that I'm micromanaging.
Yeah.
I was born, I kind of sit there and I've gone to dispatch. Hey, why are we doing this? Because of this, and this. Okay, that checks out.
Yeah.
I did not have all the information. Based on the little bit of information I had, I was wondering what the hell you were doing.
So, kind of coming off your company numbers versus personal numbers. Something else that I've personally done in the past. I used to work for a company that was just me and the owner, me as a driver. And on the weekends that the owner was off, I ran the show because I was the only one there. So I thought it'd be a good idea to make up myself some personal business cards with my name on it, kind of like how a manager would have business cards,
Oh, this is going so sideways so fast.
Yeah. So made up the business cards. They looked professional, pretty much exactly the same as the business cards he had previously. And all I did was put my name, title on there, company number, and my personal number. Not my personal, but my personal work phone number, right?
Yeah.
And whenever I was at an accident scene was pretty much the only time I gave those out to the officers that requested them.
Oh.
Right?
Made your own business cards.
Yeah.
Gave them to law enforcement.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Now, I know a lot of people have their own business cards through towing companies that have their own cell phone number on them as well. I know that's commonplace for some companies. And it's a cry and shame for others, kind of like how you're looking at me right now. You're like, you're stupid. And why the hell would you do that? Yeah.
I feel like I'd fire you.
But I think it's once you get into a certain state of like size of company, and kind of touching on the issues we just talked about, having stuff like that, regardless if the business card was identical, except it had your name and phone number on it, and probably the office number as well. Why not just have the same business card? Don't get me wrong. I think
why
it's
not
a
just
stupid
give out
idea.
a company business card? Absolutely. Like, so what was your theory on that? Like, okay, before you answer that, I feel like you said that's commonplace in the towing industry. I can see that in owner-operator trucks that work within companies that are
Mm-hmm. So the thing
100%.
was, the business cards that the company had his name on it.
Okay.
So it had
Oh,
blank
so they weren't a
blank phone number.
generic company card.
It wasn't a generic company card. It was a towing company, blank blank phone number, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted towing company, my name, company phone number, my phone number, right? Because I hand out a card and they say, "Oh, hi, Bill." It's like, sorry, my name's not Bill. It's Toman G, right? And I just wanted to cut out that headache and hassle.
I get where you're coming from. Did the company not have any generic cards at all?
No,
Oh,
no. It was
that's
a
weird.
small company, right? It was pretty much an owner operator, but he steadily had enough employees to keep that second truck busy to
Okay.
where he should really have a
That's his business, though. Okay. That's his business. His name, his
yeah,
number. Yeah, whew, that's a hot. I mean, if I ever found a guy sending out business cards with their phone numbers on it,
yeah.
I don't know how I'd feel. Like, I mean, if you're in a position that you get business cards and that you need them, whatever, I'm all for it,
Mhm.
right? But whew, that's a that's a tricky one. That is an
Mhm.
absolute tricky
But how
one.
would you feel like if you were at an accident scene and you had to hand out your boss's business card?
I wouldn't give a shit.
No?
No,
Okay.
God, no. I would love it. I hope his phone rings more. I would probably, you know what? I'm gonna start handing some out in spite. That way they're not calling me. Hey, remember that job last week? No, I don't. What is it? Can you go? You left the shovel behind. Okay, I'm on my way. No, I don't care. Okay, fun fact, secret
Yeah.
time. I have a box of business cards somewhere and I have no idea where they are.
Hmm.
I have none left on me. I just keep handing out generic customer ones. And it's kind of great because I've done that where I had some of mine on me
Mhm.
and I would show up to um an MVC
Mm.
and I want to in those scenarios hand out generic company ones.
Mm.
Because when they're calling for the impound and they're calling for all that, I don't want them calling me.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm giving you my cards because I don't have my generic ones with me.
Yeah.
And guess what happens?
They call you.
They call me directly because whenever they're dealing with something, they want to deal with somebody directly, which is fine. We have
Mm.
an impound person. It's called my wife. Deal with her directly.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than trying to hook something up or trying to coordinate something or being in the middle of a meeting. And of
Mhm.
course, when the company line rings, you got to answer it
Yeah.
and go, oh, yeah, I'm calling about my Subaru that was in an accident last week. And you're like, okay.
But I've also, in that state of mind, like I've dealt with quite a few wrecks, and 9 times out of 10, if I'm at the office when they come or they call or they want to get their stuff out, they want to deal with me because I dealt with them on the side of the road. Granted, should they always just deal with the office person? 100%. But I think it's you dealt with me on the side of the road. I already know what you're all about. I'd rather deal with you because they've built that relationship with you, right? And I
Yeah.
respect that and I understand that to a certain degree. And it to some people it could be insulting because you had all the time in the world on the side of the road when you wanted my car and wanted to get me off the side of the road and now you're just passing me off to someone else. Like what
Yeah.
the hell?
Somebody whose department that is and whose job that is.
Yeah. But people in situations like that probably aren't thinking that way. They're like, "Oh, I really liked the plain guy on the side of the road. He was a bit of a dick, but he told me straight about how it was going to be, and I appreciate that. And I just want to deal with plain guy."
You can't. Plain guy's busy. Plain guy got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Plain guy's operations do not involve dealing with you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
obviously if there's something going on that impound's busy, whatnot, but
Mhm.
like you know what I mean? You gotta, it's the same way that you said about taking a call and dispatching it and skipping through dispatch is doing the same thing,
Mhm.
right? So no, I hated it. Oh, that's where I don't know where my cards are. I really don't care. Like I can't tell you if I have cards with my name on them anywhere. I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Yeah.
I'm fine
But
with
I
just
think
generic
it varies a lot for size of company and area.
and that's not where you're not wrong there,
Yeah.
right? You're not wrong there at all.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, very few. Like I'm currently going on right now where I have a company, like I said, that it's always been good to us. We've had
Yeah.
a couple slip ups where dispatch might have given bad information, bad ETA, something like that. So this guy said, hey, whenever I get something, can I just give you a shout? Absolutely.
Yep.
This guy is also a grand, fun little story off to the side. I don't care by the time this airs. I'm going to a charity golf tournament tomorrow. Right. That's why I really want to get this recording done tonight. I won't want to do it after the golf tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so as part of that, we normally try and bring an employee, a couple employees maybe. We try and get a customer or two, right? And so I call this customer up. I'm like, hey, we'll call him Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, there's a charity golf tournament next week, Thursday. You interested? We're putting together a team.
Yeah.
We're putting together a team. And if you want to come out, I think it'd be a good time.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I'm in. What time? So I tell him the time. And I'm like, cool. And he goes, by the way, who's speaking? And I'm like, God damn it, Bob, it's me. And he goes, oh, okay, cool. I thought so. I wasn't sure. I'm like, I like your style, though.
Yeah.
Somebody asked you to play in a golf tournament. You didn't even care who it was. Like, you're just like, yeah, I'm in.
You're obviously paying if you're inviting me, so sure.
Yeah. Actually, no, he was actually nice enough to go, like, what do I need? So I'll take out cash. I'm like, no, it's on the company. No worries. He's like, all right, cool. I'll buy the beers. And I'm like, oh, this is a good deal. This is a good deal. Write-off versus non-write-off.
Yeah.
We win.
Yeah.
So, no, it's actually fun times to get out with the guys and everything now. But again, it's because it's a customer that, he's a great customer. He's an awesome customer. But we all have moments.
Nope.
Right? We've all had customers that we haven't taken care of the way that we should, or just mistakes that happen. It's not that it was an ill intent. It wasn't a screw this guy. It was just whether it be new employees, whether it be on the office or on the road, like there's just all kinds of stuff that can happen. So no, I can absolutely understand that, where the owner and management has to take care of the company. And by that can be that is one of the few exceptions to giving out your number. As a driver, don't give out your number. Because when your phone starts going off or you start going, hey, I got this guy calling me, text me, whatever. I get, you know what I mean? I get that you want to help the company. And again, it depends, you're right, on, where you're from and how big the company is.
I honestly think something like that is definitely, so we've got a new segment on the show, and that kind of, what we just talked about is the perfect setup for this situation. And I'm going to pull it up on screen here now. So from the interwebs, Towing Life Podcast, this is the new segment. So pretty much what we do is we scroll through Facebook and we find questions that people have posted online. In this instance, it's from Tow Talk on Facebook.
Very popular group on social media.
Yeah, very popular group. So we get a lot of different types of questions. So this question, just trying to see different opinions on what to do in this situation. You accept a house call on a 4-mile tow, quoted $145. They say, okay. You drive 20 minutes to the pickup location, can't find the car. You call the customer. They explain exactly where it is in the parking lot and that you'll text the address where to drop. You load it up, still no address. You call him back and he says, oh, I had texted you. Never mind, because I got someone that can come and get it for $100. Just drop it. Even though I never got a text, I tell him we agreed on $145 and it's already on my truck. And he starts getting mad, saying he's not paying $145. What would you do next? I ran it for the 100 since I was already there and loaded. I didn't want to drive back home empty-handed. Was I right or wrong? A deal is a deal, and I should have been paid the $145 once I had it on my deck, in my own opinion. And then we've got a picture on the right, picture of the car, customer, yep, that's it, and a text saying where's it going and nothing else.
Okay, so there's a couple things that play into this. First question I have, is this just some random customer? I mean, it doesn't overly matter.
It's probably a random customer if it's screwing around like this.
Okay, that is great. This is why it's great to text a customer. It's great to find information. So he got the call. He went and picked it up. He agreed on a rate, went and picked it up. The guy told him to drop it. He got somebody else to do it cheaper. And then he ran it at the cheaper price instead of driving back home empty.
Yep.
First of all, you got played. I truly believe you got played.
Yep.
If you had this agreement in place, this price in place, and I don't know if that was, farther up in the text message, if that was on a recorded line, bring it back to your yard.
Yep.
Hey, we had an agreement. I came out. I mean, I don't know what the you drive 25 minutes, pick up location, can't find the car. Okay. Or charge them the GOA.
Yep.
I mean, that's a credit card chargeback just waiting to happen. But take it back. Hey, we had an agreement to this rate. You're refusing to pay. I bring it to the shop, and if he's not there to pay it, or he doesn't want to pay it, then it's coming to my yard.
Yep.
Right? I don't know what state, country, territory this was in. I'm gonna guess somewhere in the States. Where the guy's just gonna shoot you. Gun crime isn't a problem.
Oh, it is a problem.
It isn't a problem. It isn't a problem, depending on which side of that argument you're on. But anyways, so I feel like you got played. I bring it back to the yard and say, all right, cool. Now it's at 145 plus the storage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's accumulating daily. Like, when you have an agreement like that, you can't back down that easy.
No.
And we don't know what the and like I said, he starts getting mad saying he's not paying the 145. Well, you agreed to the 145. You agreed? Providing that he actually did. Providing it wasn't, hey, how much would it be to tow a car from here to here? It's a Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
And you go $145, and he goes, all right, I'll call you back. And you just make the drive and then go, I got the car.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that's the kind of guy this guy is, because if he was that kind of guy, he probably wouldn't have just dropped it to the lower price.
Yeah, 100%.
It wasn't a predatory tow, or, you wouldn't be unloading it, but I don't know. A deal is deal. You had it on your deck. You agreed to a rate. If that is the case, charge him the 145 or bring it back to the yard. That's my opinion.
Yeah, like I perused through the comment section of this particular post, and a lot of people were saying the exact same thing. I'm sorry, you agreed to the 145. Well, you don't want to pay it now, and you're refusing to pay me. Well, then I have your asset on my truck. I'm just going to bring it back to my yard, and then it's going to be $60 a day storage until you come up and pay, right?
Yep.
So either you pay for the tow now, or it's going to get more expensive for you. Now, I'm not sure if anyone's actually done that. I know we've done it once, maybe twice. But we've also had recorded lines, video surveillance of the vehicle coming in, stuff like that. They never signed off on the quote. It was a verbal agreement over the phone, and it could be, I'm not sure how well it would stand up in court if they tried to pursue legal action.
Yeah, again, that's going to vary from province to province, state to state, right?
Yeah. So you just taking it back to your yard could be setting yourself up for future issues down the road.
Not if you're doing things by the book.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You got to be doing everything by the book, but to make that argument. But if you're doing everything by the book, you shouldn't have a problem. Now, again, I know the towing industry is not black and white, and people have sat here and talked shit on me before about it. Well, the real world is the real world is. I've worked for a company that have found a way to do it the proper way, right? So there's two reasons. There's just old school or lazy. I mean, pick your poison, or you don't know and you want to learn. In that case, I'm all open to it. Yeah. In that case like that, it's coming back to my yard. It's going to the pound. And, or you know what, the threat of that 95% of the time will solve that problem. So the customer's mad. What's the customer mad about? Okay, the customer's upset.
He's mad at paying you a fair rate for the work that you are providing.
Well, fuck the fair rate or not. Okay. No, he's mad so what's he going to do? If he is mad, what is he going to do? Short of, like I said, shoot you. Depending on where you're at. What is he going to do? He's going to write you a negative review. Right? What's the negative review going to be? This guy quoted me a price and then wouldn't go cheaper once he had it already hooked up.
Well, no one's going to write a negative review that shows them in negative light. They're just going to lie through their teeth.
So respond with the truth and respond professionally.
Yep.
Negative, right? We've talked about Google reviews, right? Negative reviews are going to happen. I got a 4.8 Google review. I have negatives.
Yep.
But guess what? That one idiot isn't going to matter. So make what you're worth, get your money's worth, move on to the next tow. I got another one. What's the next one? I forgot. You were actually reading the wrong one that I had on screen earlier, which is funny. Okay, I'm going to read this one. It's from Tow Talk once again. Tow Talk is a great conversation. There's a couple good groups that are out on social media. Tow Talk's one.
Highly
There's another one.
recommend you join Tow Talk if you're on Facebook and in the towing industry.
Absolutely. We pull a lot of content from them as well.
Yeah.
There's another one about like tow owners and managers, which is kind of interesting. It's got some interesting topics. But anyways, okay, real quick Auto Club question. I know some of you don't do Auto Clubs and look down on us who do. Please keep your snarkiness to a minimum.
We will.
I got a call Friday for a Lincoln Town Car from a gas station a mile from the house to go 4.1 miles. That's like 1,000,000 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
On arrival, I found the lady and car and asked if she wanted to sit in the air-conditioned cab while I loaded her car. This was a 5-letter roadside call that they offered a reasonable rate on. And I know there's a lot of crap talk on that roadside.
Yeah.
The customer said, and I quote, "Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. I ain't paying $30 to ride 4 miles with my car. I called a friend." Since when is this 5-letter roadside charging customers to ride in our trucks? I would never charge someone to ride with their car to their house. And then there's a comment on that post that says, the real point that needs addressed here is, if in fact this is a real thing, I mean ongoing with them, no disrespecting to this man's claims. So I'm not saying this guy's a liar, but if this is, how long have they been charging this? Unbeknownst to the unsuspecting tow op, who just happens to be told, yeah, by the way, the customer needs a ride with their car to the destination. No big deal. I doubt many guys would deny them. Just saying, how long has this been part of the game? And as this fella happens to be a whistleblower, things that make you go,
100%. Like, I've heard different things, and it's from this 5-letter roadside as well. I've seen reports of, in the call comments, do not discuss our rates with the customer, make them call back to us. Because in a
They're
lot of
charging them.
cases, they're charging the customer, let's say $300, and you're actually only charging the roadside $150 for the service. And that's how the roadside makes their money, because they overcharge the customer. Right?
Yeah, because these are like almost like a pay-per-use roadside.
Yeah, it's stupid. A lot of times it's through insurance companies and stuff like that. So it's a very weird thing. But more to on the actual point of riding with the tow truck driver, if anyone should charge that, it should be us.
Agreed.
Because we have to deal with the people. And don't get me wrong, 95% of the time we have good customers that ride with us. Have a decent conversation. You know, they might toss you a couple of bucks for a coffee or a sandwich. You never know. And you learn a little bit about them. You might learn about different cultures and stuff like that. Normally it's a good time. But that 5%.
I want to charge that 5%.
That 5% that's got smelly feet, been haven't bathed in a couple of weeks, and just reeks like cigarettes, and lights one up in the truck without even consenting or asking for permission, and just makes you smell like cigarette smoke. And it's just, they're covered in husky hair. Now that's all over your truck as well.
Don't talk about Jeffy like that. Don't talk about Jeffy.
Yeah, I want to charge that extra $30 just for me to have to put up with you.
No, 100%. Oh, no. And I get a call the other day, right? Tow going an hour and a half away, 2 customers to go. And I'm like, one of my regular cabinos.
Yeah.
Like, all right, it is what it is. Anyways, I pull up and I get out of the car. I'm like, how many are you? They're like 3. I was like, I can only take 2.
Yeah.
They're like, we know. I'm like, oh, okay. And then so like I'm like, keys in it? Yeah. They're just chilling out. One of them's leaning up against a tree, reading a book. They're in like a parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it all hooked up, and they're still just kind of chilling out. And I'm like, are you guys coming with the car? Is your friend that's coming picking up all 3? Oh, he's picking up all 3. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I always find that funny. Like sometimes you'll get like a group of people, and they'll be like, oh, well, these 2 people are going to go with you, and the rest of us are going to get a cab.
Or yeah. Well, it's not. I mean, the rest of us, whatever. But yeah, you get that one where it's like, yeah, I got a friend coming to pick us up. Okay, and there's 3 of them, and it's like, man, what's your friend driving? Like, why are you coming with me? Go with your friends.
Yeah. Where are you going? Oh, well, I'm going to meet you at the drop off.
Yeah, you don't trust me to tow your '92 Honda Civic?
No, can you wait for my friend to come pick us up? We want to follow you there. You're at a house. No.
Now you're on the side of the road. I kind of have to. It's kind of like a moral obligation.
Yeah.
But you're you're at a house. Nah, I ain't waiting, chum. Have fun. I got stuff to be. I got places to be and people to do.
Yeah. But do you think so?
Okay.
From a management point of view,
Yes.
if you had a contract with a roadside service like this,
Yes.
or
And they were
not
doing
even
that.
a contract, but you do work, right?
Yeah.
You set up an account to get paid from these guys. And then you find out later that they are overcharging their customers for different things that you haven't quoted for. So like they're paying or they're charging their customers to ride with you without your knowledge. What would you do?
I'd start charging for it.
Hmm.
Right? 100% start charging for it. You don't like it?
Yep.
Cool. And I
Yep.
would let everybody know in my small little town
Mhm.
what they're doing. Because don't get me wrong, I understand business.
Yep.
I understand that these roadsides, as much as I hate them,
Mhm.
it's not a hidden opinion,
Yep.
need to make money. They're a business.
Yep.
Technically a not for profit. Anyways, they're a business. So I understand that. But let's be reasonable here. If you want to start pulling like shady stuff like that, that's like a 3-letter roadside company charging their customer a premium for, let's say, a GOA and then not paying GOAs for us.
Mm.
You know, you charge a service, I charge a rate for my service.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you are paying your rate, if they are paying your rate, your fair and retail rate,
Mm-hmm.
whose business is it that they're making a buck?
Yep.
Right? If they're knocking your rates down
Mm-hmm.
like that, that's where I start to have a little bit of a problem.
Yep.
Right? Now, if you're just paying my retail rate, if I say it is this hookup, this kilometer, this whatever, and they come back and say no problem.
Yep.
And the ETA is reasonable and everything's on the up and up, meaning I'm charging my margins and I'm making my margins.
Mm-hmm.
Continue on making your money. I'm probably gonna I might tell the customer, because like, if it's another towing company, I'm not undercutting them.
Yep.
But if it's a roadside, I might be like, how much you pay for this?
Yep.
Oh, don't discuss your rates. Why? The customer was asking me what a tow like this would cost them if they didn't have roadside.
Yep.
I can discuss my rates.
Yep. There's nothing legally
Dis-
binding me not to
I
discuss that.
discuss my rates with my competition.
Yep.
I'm going to discuss it with your customer. Right?
So, okay. So off that,
Yes.
you're making your money. You're charging $150 for the tow, whatever it is.
Whatever you're charging.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right? So you're happy because they're paying your retail rate.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't really matter what the roadside service is charging their customer, because you should be happy you're making your retail rate.
That's
what happens
yeah.
if there's 4 people to go in that car and you show up in your regular Cabino and you can't take all 4 of them, but the roadside company has already charged them the $30 a head? And they say, well, we paid extra for it.
I guess the roadside company's paying a taxi.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. If you made that agreement with your roadside to get 4 people taken, right? Same thing if I show up with one of my regular roadside contracts and the roadside tells them, yeah, we'll take all 4 people. Yeah. And I show up and my roadside, I mean, they're pretty good. They know what our limits are, passengers. That's not a me problem. It's not my customer. Roadside's paying me my rate. That's a you problem now. Right? It's the same way if the roadside's not covering your call because of whatever exceptions or whatever that they make. That's not a me problem. My customer is the roadside. My customer is not the people on the side of the road. You lost that when you agreed to the contract with the roadside or agreed to the call with the roadside. The customer is the roadside. So you charge the roadside what you think is fair. If you gave them a junk rate and then you find out they're charging 30, that's on you. That's not on the roadside. That's on you.
Yep.
You gave them a junk rate. If you're giving them the full retail rate, your regular retail rate, and they agree and they're making extra, cash on the side, that's business, Jim.
Yep.
That's 100% business.
The more middleman you have in a specific operation, the more the consumer is going to be paying.
The more hands that money's got to go through, the more it's going to cost. So, on that note, I think it is a great way to wrap up episode 100 and something. I know that I've had a very long day. I'm sure you have as well.
Yep.
Still more work to be done. So, on behalf of myself my wonderful co-host, Mr. Towman G, the one, the only. We thank you for checking out another episode of the Towing Life podcast. We cannot wait again. We will see you again next week. New episodes every Tuesday. towinglife.ca/shop. Check out our merch. See you next week. Take care.
Toodles.